तो हेलो एवरीवन, आज हमारे साथ में अविनाश सर हैं जो कि इंडियन नेवी में सर्व कर चुके हैं और स्टूडेंट्स को या देश भर के जो भी लोग इस वीडियो को देखने वाले हैं उनको जानने को मिलेगा बहुत कुछ। मतलब इंडियन नेवी में क्या होता है, कैसे एंट्री हो सकती है, या उसके अलावा भी एक यूनिफॉर्म वाली लाइफ कैसी होती है। तो ऐसे खूब सारे क्वेश्चन हम सर से पूछने वाले हैं। तो सर, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स बिगिन विद योर डेजिग्नेशन एंड व्हाट डिड यू डू देयर, and please let us know.
Okay. So I served the Indian Navy for 10 years, and I retired in the rank of Lieutenant Commander, and my designation was an Air Technical Officer. So I look after the aviation part of the Navy, where I was looking after the maintenance of a particular aircraft in the Indian Navy. Yeah, that's me.
So we'll go with the flow, but firstly I want to know, from your childhood, did you plan to get into the army from the very beginning? Like, your family members are they in the armed forces, or like you were?
No, my family members were not there in the armed forces. I am the first one to be in the armed forces in my whole family. Childhood say, I really wouldn't say that I had this plan ki I wanted to get in the armed forces. But however, I remember जब 8th standard में पढ़ रहा था, तो उसमें एक बुक में लिखा होता है कि ब्राज़ील में everyone serves in the armed forces for a minimum of 4 years, and there are few countries who used to have this military training very compulsory. Okay. This was there in the back of my mind कि हाँ military training compulsory है. Okay, fine. So as I grew up and I just like everyone, engineering and medical, so I just started studying as much as possible in 11th and 12th and 10th, whatever was good for me. And then I did my engineering from NIT Jaipur. So then later on, I came to know about armed forces. Then I had a vision of how to enter inside.
Okay, so I can ask this: when you were in 11th 12th standard, you took science mathematics, right?
Yes.
And did you give the JEE exam?
I did. I actually gave AIEEE.
Okay.
At the time it was AIEEE.
Okay, so how was your studies at that time? ये सारे स्टूडेंट्स को जानना होगा।
Okay.
कि भाई यहाँ हालत खराब रहती है इनकी।
Okay.
कि कैसे तो पढ़ना है 11th 12th में, साइंस ले लिए हैं, वो 10th के बाद इनका भ्रम टूट जाता है। IIT करेंगे, पहले 2-3 महीनों में ही इनका बस ये हो जाता है कि अब ये कैसे होगा, बस कैसे निकलेंगे, 12th कैसे निकलेगी।
Okay.
So
I just understood one thing कि the most important thing in life is which cannot be remade again is time. Time is what you're racing against. So in life you got to do the right thing at the right time. That is the most important thing. तो मैंने सोचा क्यों मैं वक्त से पहले कर लूँ, तो मैंने 10th खत्म किया था as usual as everyone. I think I scored 92% in 10th, and then afterwards and I decided कि I think I should be a little ahead. There is no use of going along with the flow. Let's go a little ahead of the flow. And when I was in 11th itself, I completed my 12th syllabus. And when I was in 12th, I started working for AIEEE. So I had a good step ahead.
Okay, when you were in 11th itself, you completed syllabus of 12th.
Yeah.
So 11th syllabus, what about like in 10th only?
11th, हाँ, no. 11th मैंने 11th का टाइम में ही पढ़ा था. Side by side, I started reading my 12th also. I took tuitions for 12th already. Okay. Started taking tuitions. So it was like a holistic view of what we are studying. So it is most important thing I understand is you have to have a idea of what is going to happen next. So if you have an idea of what is going to happen next, if you know it, अगर आपको सब कुछ दिख रहा है कि हाँ मेरे को यही करना है, तो आप पहले ही करके रख लो थोड़ा सा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट आई कंप्लीटेड माय होल 12th, but almost around 80% of it I have completed and kept it. So I had a good amount of time to prepare for my IEEE also.
Wasn't this whole these 2 years a burden for you? Like, you were studying 11th and 12th at the same time. You must have been going to school as well. So did you participate in sports activities or other curricular activities as well, or you were just becoming a bookish guy?
Okay, I would agree with the fact that from 5th standard till, I have to go a little back for this, because from 5th standard till 10th tak, okay, I was properly in sports. All right, I was in sports, but then see, I was a national level in roller skating and roller hockey, and I was in badminton, I was in basketball, and I'm an athlete. I used to be a long jumper, and also all this 200 800 meters right runnings I used to do. I was in sports proper type. but then I understood that whose time Zamana, I'm talking about in 2000, what is it, 2009? 2000, yeah, 2009. Yeah, I guess 2009 I completed my 10th. Sorry, 10th was 2007. Okay, so
Okay,
2007 I
12.
completed my 10th. So this time I understood that, what people are going to see at this point of time is only my marks. And we are in that particular loop. So let me concentrate on studies in my 11th and 12th. So it's not like I completely, cut off my sports. I just did my basic, sporting activities, not fully going and attending nationals and all that. But I just concentrated mostly on studies. Yeah, question to answer is, was it burdening? Is there an option? That's the point. I
No.
mean, but however, only thing is that you can, make your mind up accordingly कि हाँ मेरे को करना ही है, तो we'll do it in a very systematic manner, think about it and work it out accordingly.
Like this is the idea of yours which kept you motivated. Like करना ही है तो करना ही है. So the question still is that was it a burden for you or you had some other way to which kept you motivated?
Motivation is that India में क्या होता है, there is most important thing is, if you have a tag, it's easy to go ahead. All right. So in that time, back in 2007, 2009, the only thing which was in the, flab was you just have to go through this engineering or medical. So I had already chosen computer science. So मेरा तो engineering था. So why not the best? All right. So I just thought once I get into a good college, then I have a good tag for it. So with the help of the tag, then you can go ahead with whatever you want to go ahead. So motivation was that I want to be the best. So there was one thing was very clear in my mind, is that if there is no pain, there is no gain, and if there is no guts, there is no glory, right? So we had to take the pain. It looks like a pain, but when I look back at it right now, I think I did the right thing. I took the burden. I did study well. All right. It is not just studying what is there in the book. It is actually understanding the whole concept of it. Right?
Correct.
And you may be thinking that kya hai? Why am I reading sin theta cos theta? It's not about the sin theta cos theta. It's about the ability to solve that problem, which makes you in life to be able to solve any kind of problem which comes on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
No matter if you understand that problem or not, but you are capable of solving all the problems which come into
your brain gets wired in such a way that you start thinking it, how can I solve this problem? It's not about sin theta cos theta. It's about that ability to look at the problem and the way to solve the problem, which makes your brain wired in order to handle all the problems whichever comes in your life.
Okay, really beautiful answer. So in this age, most of the boy students, if I'm talking, they ask me same question again and again over phone calls, that we are, because of hormonal changes, we are attracted to other gender.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we manage all of this? We are not able to focus at our studies.
Mm-hmm.
Did this come to you as well in that age?
Oh, of course it would come. I mean, it's meant to come, because that is how the body works. Okay. But then that's what you have to look a little ahead in your life. Okay. Who would a lady would like to have? A person who just has a good amount of looking, or a person who just with just kind of good amount of money, they would require kind of everything. So first you have to look at yourself. Do I have everything within myself? Okay. So you have to start working on everything. You cannot just say that, okay, I'm good looking, I just want to, is that lady attracted to me? No, it doesn't work like that. It will be there, it will be for a very short period of time. But however, if you want to have a very successful, stable girlfriend or a wife, whosoever you want to call it, I think you should prepare yourself properly. All right, and then you have to go ahead with this thing. I also recently met a few actually a 12th standard kid. He came to me and told that, oh, my girlfriend is going away. I think I will also go to Poland with her and all that. I was like, relax. Okay, this 12th guy. Okay. And these days, kids, internet is there. They're
very advanced.
They're advanced. I mean, in our time there was no internet. All right,
there is no cell phone.
There was no cell phone. There was no internet cell phone. You used to have that Nokia
keypad phone.
X6 keypad phone, something. I forgot the name of that. तो एक बंदा आके बोल रहा है कि माय गर्लफ्रेंड शी इज गोइंग टू पोलैंड फॉर स्टडीइंग इन शी जस्ट कंप्लीटेड 12 स्टडीइंग मेडिकल आई थिंक आई एम आल्सो गोइंग टू गो ओवर देयर लाइक रिलैक्स just relax, okay? What is your age right now? You're not even 17, okay? You're not crossed your teens. You started thinking about going and meeting her. First, work on yourself, okay? Find a way to be stable. Start earning money, all right? You don't have to really go behind a lady, all right? If you have the right stuff inside you, things will come behind you.
Okay. So do your job, what you have.
By the way,
पढ़ो.
yeah, by the way, the same goes for a lady also, okay? Let's not
No,
really
most of the males share this with me. Even
Alright.
some of the girls call me and
Okay.
ask this question कि भैया पढ़ाई में जो है हमारा मन नहीं लग रहा है. हमने ऐसा लग रहा है कि पिछले 3-4 महीने सोचने में टाइम खराब कर दिया और एक लड़के हैं क्लास में. फिर मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ लेता हूँ कि क्या ऐसा है क्या? वो पहले नहीं बताते.
Okay.
देन दे से कि हाँ ऐसा ही है. तो हमारी बात होती है फोन पे ऐसा ऐसा. तो क्या होना चाहिए? तो इट्स लाइक at the both of the ends.
This reminds me of a very good thing which Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. Keep your what do you call a mind? Sorry, this is the quote. The mind is the best friend and the worst enemy of any human being. All right. I would like to add up to a point to that. Ki, keep your. There is a saying, no. Keep your enemies. Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. All right.
Yep.
If your mind is your enemy, you have to learn how to tame your mind, right? If you learn how to tame your mind, you are the person. You can just control every damn thing which is there around you. If you're able to control your mind, right? Trust me, what do you want in life? Everything will be there in front of you because you just know exactly what to do at what point of time. That is the most important thing, knowing what to do at one point of time. All right.
Beautiful. So what did help you doing this? We can come to this question, after like knowing the process of your entry into the Indian Navy.
Okay. So you want to know how I entered inside the Navy? So I did my engineering from NIT Jaipur. All right. Then in the last, somewhere on the end of the third year. Okay. So in college, the Navy came for recruitment. Right. So at that point of time, I had already had a particular idea in my mind that I wanted to do something more adventurous. I was in sports. I was always an adventurous kid. More than adventurous kid, I was a very curious kid. I always wanted to know things. What is happening? Not in a gossip way, but in an experimental way.
Okay.
All right. So the Armed Force people came to my college. All right. They took the interview. It's just general within the college kind of interview. From there, they called up me for SSB. All right. You go for SSB, and that is a separate procedure altogether. And I gave my SSB when I was in fourth year, odd semester. That is the first semester of the fourth year. All right, which I think probably is the seventh semester.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And the whole selection after you give your SSB and all that, the time for the result to come is almost like the end of the 8th semester.
Okay.
All right. So you got to give your SSB a little early so that you can, by the time you leave engineering, you'll be able to join if you get selected.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you got selected and then you joined the armed forces. Now do they come in the colleges or now the process is different?
I'm not sure about this.
Okay. So what happens in SSB?
Okay.
Is it like the interviews today, mock interviews we see on like YouTube?
No.
Or
It's
is it different?
way different. It's way amazing. The way people are getting selected for armed forces. You have to understand. First of all, let's talk about SSB because we'll understand what is the procedure happening in SSB, and then we will know that why such kind of procedure is being utilized. All right. So SSB, you see, happens. As I said, they came to my college and then they selected me. And then once I went and once I went and reported in SSB, I did my SSB in SSB Coimbatore. All right. So I found 300 people have come and reported. So they have gone to all over India. They've selected one person from all college, whosoever is eligible, and then they went all the people are called for SSB. At around 300 people are called to Coimbatore. Right. We all reported over there. After reporting, the first day is called as a screening day. All right. Here, what they do, all the 300 people write an exam. All right. It's an exam on reasoning ability, and very basic mathematics and reasoning ability, analytics, those kind of basic questions are there. But the thing is, you're racing against time. All right. So I think there are around my point of time there were 120 questions. You have to finish up within 60 minutes. So which means that one question you have 30 seconds. Yeah. And after finishing that exam, immediately you have been displayed a hazy picture on the wall, and you have been asked to write a big paragraph about what you think about the picture.
Okay.
All right. It's a black and white picture, so you just have to write. For example, it'd be like two cars coming and hitting each other, and you are looking at it. Not you, a person is looking at it. All right. Or it will be like four people are sitting to each other. They are one of them is playing a kind of card action, but it's actually not a card. And one of them is looking at it. Three of them are just saying. So they give you a certain picture, and they are just asking you to write about that picture. All right. After writing about the picture, then all these 300 people, they are called in groups of 10s or 15s, okay, and made to sit inside a room in a form of a semicircle.
Okay.
All right. And then there will be assessors, okay, they are called the officers. They will assess us, okay. Then there's a group discussion which will be happening on the same picture. All right. Now here everybody puts up their view. First, initially they'll ask about individual thing, what they think about that picture individually, and then the group discussion starts. Okay. Now the thing is, you have to be the one to initiate first, so that obviously you're again having a competition over there. So you have to initiate first, and then I was lucky to initiate in the beginning. All right. And I have always been the guy to initiate in wherever I was. that is one good trait, and that is also kind of troublesome trait. Right? Yeah. So I initiated, and along with me, once I started, people started agreeing that what I agree with this person, that so and so is kind of the picture. And one interesting thing which happened during that selection process, that I found one person totally opposing that whatever we are saying. All right. Okay. And he was having his own purview. All right. So just note this point. And after this group discussion happened for all the 300 people, this whole process happens in the morning time itself, the morning session itself. After the whole session happens, in the evening session, out of the 300 people, only 30 candidates are selected. The rest of them are sent back home. All right. So 250 people have gone back home, 30 people are kept.
270 people.
270 people have gone back home, and 30 people are made to stay behind. Selected. All right. The person who opposed, whole scene, okay, he was also made to stay back. All right. Interesting, because when it is told that we are all in a group, but still how a person has just stood by his stand, and then he has proved himself, he has also stayed back. It was very interesting. We thought that he will not be there, but then we don't know what the assessment procedure is at that point of time. So it was good. It was a good experience back then. Now these 30 people who are selected, all right, they'll be staying for the next 4 days. All right, they'll be selected in various ways. Upper session test. All right, here what happens is that in picture upper session test, they will flash around 10 in number pictures. All right, one by one. Each picture will be flashed for around 30 seconds, and you are supposed to write a particular paragraph about the picture. All right. Again, as I told, the picture is very hazy. It'll just it'll give you random thoughts. All right. So basically, they're trying to assess your thoughts, like what this guy thinks about that particular picture. Is he thinking negative about the picture? Is he thinking positive about the picture? In that particular picture result, there'll be 3-4 characters. In which character is he positioning himself? Is he positioning himself as if he is the guy who is driving inside the car, or is he positioning himself as a person who is looking from the window, or he positioning himself as a person who is there in the main character looking at the accident in front as a the bigger character? So there are different people think about a particular picture in different ways. So psychologists analyze what they are thinking about that particular picture. So there are 10 pictures, and they give you 4 minutes to write about each picture. And after that, the next second thing is word appreciation test. All right, here they flash a particular word for around 10 seconds, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember, because I gave SSD way long back. So they flash a flash of word. All right, and they give you around 15 seconds, I guess, to write about that word. Okay, for example, flash words like heat, judge, money, run, with the basic words. Okay, but what a person thinks about that word at that point, because you're not given time, you're just given a flash of word. Okay, after that word is flashed, the word is removed, and then you have to write about that word. All right, then immediately after some around 10 to 15 seconds, another word is flashed. All right, immediately you see that, you don't have time. Whatever comes in your mind, the first is what you write. So what happens is that without giving a time, they analyze what exactly you think about, that word. What you think about the word, tells a lot about you. For example, judge. All right, some people will write about judgmental. That guy had judgmented me. All right, some people write about, the judge is the most important person in the court, and he decides what is to be. Some people come in the form of, I have the ability to judge people in just a second because of my ability to travel around. So every
Okay.
person has a different way of thinking. So what he writes about that particular word decides who he is. All right, this is the word appreciation test. Then next is the situation reaction test. This is very interesting. All right, I think right now the format has changed, but I'll tell you about this. When I was there, they used to give a particular situation. There are totally around 60, I think 30 number situations they give, and each situation is you're given around 30 seconds to write the solution. 30 or 60, I think 30 seconds, I'm not sure. But I gave it long back. So basically a situation is given and you have to write a solution for the situation. For example, you're going in a train and suddenly you find the next compartment in the train has got fire. All right, what would you do?
They give you situation.
And then they ask you to find a solution for it. All right, and that solution should be within 2 to 3 lines. All right,
Okay.
I'll in this particular case, someone would write that I'll call up an helicopter and ask people to evacuate. All right, some person will tell like, I will immediately try to open the what do you call wash basin. I open the toilet or the wash basin and start filling water and start throwing water on this. All right, these are impractical solutions, but how practical you're there in finding the solution for it makes you the right person for that particular psychological test. I'll give you another example. You're there sitting in your home reading late night, okay, about your books or something, and then you find a robbery happening. You find a thief who is climbing on the neighboring house. What would you do? All right, so again people will think
I'll call
about
the
crazy thing. I'll
police
call the
or-
police. I'll call the neighboring guy immediately, or I will go and try to immediately go outside, become that hero panthi type. I'll go and call him. I'll start fighting with him. So what is the practical solution for it? Right?
Correct.
The practical solution is go to that next house, start ringing the doorbell, so that there is an alarm which happens immediately. Simultaneously, you call the police. All right?
Correct.
So there are
So that you can also catch the guy.
yes, you got to do all these things together.
Correct.
So this is a situation reaction test. In my time was in the writing form. It was in the writing format. I think these days they are giving multiple choice questions.
Okay.
All right, as in what you would do, and all of them would seem right. So what you do decides what type of psychological trait you have.
Okay.
The last part of the psychological test, that is the last part of the day 2 test, is the personal description test, okay, where you write about yourself.
Okay.
Right, apart from what it's about writing about yourself, you also write about what your teachers think about you, what your employees think about you if you're working,
Okay.
what your parents think about you, what your friends think about you. So these are, you're divided into 5 ways, and then you write about this. I think you're given half an hour to write about all these things. So this is about the psychological test where the day 2 ends. Okay, this happens for all the 30 people together.
Okay.
All right, and now day 3 is group tasking. All right, group tasking is very interesting because here it's not about individualism. It's about how
Teamwork.
you're in a team, and then how you're working together. Because in armed forces, it's all team. Everything is teamwork in armed forces. There's no individual work, because once you've been selected as an officer in the armed forces, you are the one who is commanding around 60 to 70 people at any point of time. Minimum is around 60 to 70 people you'll be commanding. So you're basically working in groups, right? So here in group tasking test, you start your day with again a group discussion. All right, so there is one officer who will analyze. He'll call you in groups of 10. All right, he'll say that I'll give you 2 options of a particular topic to discuss on. You guys decide whichever topic you want to discuss on. All right.
Okay.
So probably one would be a general topic, one would be a specific topic of about a particular economy of a state, a country, a particular Russia-Ukraine war. So they'll give a particular topic. So 2 topics. So we got to find out whichever topic we want to discuss on. So here again, everyone is trying to prove their worth. They're trying to prove themselves that I am the leader. He has to select me. That's how it is.
Okay.
Fittest among all. So again, I took the initiation. I told that, I think it'll be better we discuss on this topic. As I said, everybody around agreed with it. All right. And we discussed on the topic, and the GTO analyzed it. Again, he gives the GTO, that is GTO is the group tasking officer. He gives another group discussion topic.
Okay.
All right. Here he doesn't give an option. You say that you have to discuss on this topic. Okay. Again, people come around. We discuss on that topic. So they analyze us again on that particular situation. So after the group discussion is over, the next is a kind of a case discussion where they just show a particular map. Again, it's all groupism. Okay, so there are group of 10 people. They show a particular kind of map. Us map may there's a particular river kind of section which is going, and then they say that you are here in this position, all your 10 people, and then you have to reach this particular point. But when you are reaching this particular point, meanwhile you find that there is a robbery which has happened in this particular bank, and then either एक बंदे का accident हो गया and उधर कुछ और हो गया. So how do you spread yourself and manage yourself? Again, everybody will try to crew themselves off.
Okay.
So we have to find our way to come in common points, and someone has to take the lead. एंड उसके बाद वो उसमें ये बनाना पड़ता है कि हाँ आप दोनों इस साइड जाओ, इसको करो, आप दोनों इधर जाओ, उसका ये वाला काम करो, उसके बाद ये रूट लेके इधर आके इस टाइम में पहुंच जाओ. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट वेज फॉर वन पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम इन दी SSB सिलेक्शन. सो हाउ डू यू अप्रोच द प्रॉब्लम मेक्स यू हाउ एफिशिएंट यू आर. राइट. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर काइंड ऑफ लुक्ड इनटू. उसके बाद इसके अलावा देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज obstacle test. There is an individual obstacle test. Okay, there's one thing which happens individually, जिसमें there are around 10 in number different obstacles, like a Burma bridge, like climbing down a rope, like a long jump. Okay, so it all happens in square space where every obstacle is placed over there, and then there are 10 in number obstacles. Each obstacle is given obstacle number 1 has 1 point, obstacle number 2 has 2 points, 3 points. So if it is in the 10, it is the most complicated obstacle. All right, and every person is given 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, as many number of obstacles he wants to complete, he can complete. On an average, people complete around 8 out of 10 obstacle, 9 out of 10 obstacles. 8 to 7 is what people complete. But my virtue of being in sports from a very young age, I was able to complete 13 out of 10. So which means that once you complete 10, you have the ability to go again. All right. Okay. So I went 13 out of 10. I still remember the face of the officer who was analyzing me. Both of them, they were like, this guy, oh my god, what is wrong with him? I was out of my breath because the obstacles are quite tough, but still वो whistle डाल दिया, 3 minute हो गया. I was still running for my next. Like, they were like, it's okay, enough, stop it. आपका time हो गया. Like, okay, all right, good. And individual obstacle is a very interesting thing, because it actually tells you how good is your stamina. Your stamina is a very important thing in life. And next is there is this, apart from this individual obstacles, there are group obstacle test, where again you're divided in a group of 10. Okay, so 30 people, so 10 10 10, there are 3 groups. Okay, and then all of them have to complete a particular physical activity together. Like there is a slope like structure you have to climb in together, and then there is a rope like structure you have to climb the rope and jump on that side of the wall, and there is what do you call this net like structure. You have to climb the net and rope. The idea is that they give a particular snake kind of a pallet.
Okay.
So thing is, at any point of time, 3 people have to catch that pallet when you're doing the obstacle, and when you're running, all of you have to catch the pallet. All right. So how efficiently you're managing, उसमें भी है ना, कोई बंदे lead बनता है, कोई बंदा hero बनता है, तो everything is recorded in that. All right. So they see each and every person, and then they see, okay, this guy is able to do, he's able to command. He's, apart from not just going and jumping, once he climbs the top of the wall, is he giving his hand to the other person to help him? So all these things count. I still remember there was one person in the other group. Okay, group में चलना है. In the end, he ran ahead and he finished in the all alone. I was like, this is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a group tasking, isn't it? So I'm telling you, because
these all minute things are very important.
Very important. Okay, it's very important.
It reflects the way you live in your life. It's not that you at a specific moment of time you are trying to prove yourself to someone.
Why this SSB is a foolproof process of selection, I'll tell you in the last. But let me complete this particular process. Right. So there is this group obstacles, and then there is one more thing where there are small obstacles, and they give you a kind of a log and a rope. All right.
Okay.
So with the help of log and rope, you have to cross these obstacles, and you're given. And in this particular process, they do not have all the 10 people. They have 3 people in sets. Okay. Usme one person is called, and then they are asked to choose some other person. Okay, and from the group, whosoever they want to. Luckily, I was chosen by all the 7 people.
Okay.
Out of 10 people, 7 people chose me that I want to do the group task with him. How is that thing? They are choosing me. Later on, when I looked into and analyzed, I analyzed that during the free time when I used to be in the dorm, I wouldn't say the barracks. Okay, barracks. I was interacting with everyone. I was trying to be, the nice kid. That's naturally there inside me. So, it's not just there in the group. Okay, it's not just there when you're doing the task. It's about what you also do when you're not in the task. That also matters, right?
That's why they chose you. All of them.
That aura matters. Okay, that the way you discuss, because people are not. Everybody wants to be the best. All right. So when they're choosing, they'll also choose someone who they are able to cooperate with. All right, not someone who command. Right.
Yep.
So all these things was very important, and I think they also analyzed the fact that I used to give due importance to everyone. I didn't say that you do, what I say. Right. So I was like listening to them, and I was also trying to put up my point, and we are coming to a common conclusion, which is kind of most important in group activity. All right. And this is a very interesting day, that is a group tasking day. All right. This is the major chunk of what happens in a group task. The third day is the most every day is crucial, but third day is the most grinding one, which is the interview day. Okay, the interview happens for like straight minimum 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. All right, they just rip you apart inside out. Just rip you apart inside. They first of all make you very comfortable. The officer who is interviewing you makes you very comfortable. And how are you and all this and all that. All right, and then eventually time and by, they ask you questions from your personal level, ask you questions from your what you read in your college. They ask you questions on general knowledge. They ask you questions on how do you tackle a situation. They ask you questions X, left, right, and center. Apart from the above, there's this very interesting part in the interview, which is the rapid fire question. They ask you 20 questions, one by one, and you have to answer in the same order in which they had asked the question. All right. So this shows your ability to grasp things.
Okay.
All right. So the interview is kind of a tedious process. They literally wanted you to sweat. All right. If you do not sweat, then either you are somehow, you're either superhuman, and there's no one is a superhuman. Okay. They try to corner you left, right, and center. You will get cornered. And if you do well, good for you. I mean, it's good. Okay. If you are that really confident at a very young age, it's very good for you. All right. So I was literally holding my tie like this. Like, okay. But, and one interesting fact is that the questions they asked in the first hour or something in the beginning of the interview, the same question they'll ask in the last, to just check whether you're giving the same answer. All right.
Okay.
If these two answers differ, then which means that somewhere you're
lying, or
you're not, true to the interviewer. You're trying something which is, which is pre-planned or pre-done. All right. The best part about the whole selection procedure is that out of these 3 days, that is the psychological test, the psychological test, the group tasking, and the interview, these 3 are 3 different invigilators. Okay, these 3 invigilators do not talk to each other. On day 5, that is the conference day, all these 3 invigilators come in one particular room. Okay, and they discuss on how do they discuss is that the mark which the psychological invigilator has got, mark which the interviewer got, and the mark which the group tasking got should be almost in the same level. All right. If you're almost in the same level, which means that you have been true to yourself in every place where you have performed. Okay. So in psychological test, you say that, you think that, okay, I will write something nice. And then in the group tasking, you have done something not nice. And whereas in interviewer will anyway find out who you are. All right. So if you have got the same kind of marks and same kind of appreciation by all the 3 people, which means that you have actually been true to yourself.
Correct.
All right. If you're true to yourself, again, you have to be top in the merit. All right. So I think true to yourself was the most important thing here in this eligibility criteria, and each and every officer, each and every candidate was called inside separately, and if there is any small what do you call lack, they again question again. For example, they just want to check if you're able to do a little better in the rapid fire. They'll try to do a rapid fire again, and if they're able to do it properly, and I think he could go through. All right. So mine, I think I was already in. So they just told, do you have any suggestions which you want us to improve here? I was born on June 5. Okay. June 5 is a day, that's a World Environment Day. I'm very concerned for the environment around. I found a water leaking in the bathroom. I just told that the water is leaking. I think if it's fixed, it'll be nice. So the good appreciation was there. And then we all went and sat back in a particular room where all 30 candidates were there together. Now you have to understand that initially 300 people came on day 1. Okay.
Yep.
Day 2, 30 people were bought in, and they were analyzed for the next 4 days. On the last day, that is on the conference day, only 6 people have got selected. So out of 300 people all over India, only 6 people have got selected on the final SSB, which has happened for that particular batch.
Okay.
कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि I have heard that in some batches there not even one will be get selected, and it is not over here. Alright, is 6 people may they are again sent for medical examination. Alright, because we want the person not only the best in mind and physical activities, we want to check him inside out. So medical examination happens for around 6 days, 1 week तक चलता है, जिसमें they strip you inside out. They'll take the X-ray of your whole body. They'll see whether you have a knock knee. They will check your ears. Ears में ऐसा भी होता है कि one person stands in one corner. Okay, and the other person whispers few numbers. Okay, and we have to find out what number he's whispering. All right, and eyes are checked properly. All right, every perspective of your body is being checked. All right,
Okay.
and how much you breathe in and breathe out. How much is the expansion of the chest. All right, and your blood, everything is checked. A to Z of your body is checked. After that, 3 people are selected. So from 300 to 3, you can see the ratio of how people are getting selected in the armed forces.
And like earlier, they selected 300 from the country.
300 from the country. I wouldn't. It's like this. 300 from the country. The SSB what I attended was one batch. Okay, in within a 6 months period, almost around probably around 30 to 35 batches होता है. तो मेरा batch में 3 लोग select हुआ. Okay, so again they'll go around all over India. The people keep going around. They keep sending to SSBs. SSB may finally few people are selected, and all these group of in that 6 months how many people have selected उनका एक merit list बनता है, and if you are top in the merit list, then you are sent to Indian Naval Academy for training. All right, so in my batch around 60 people were there in the finally for the training procedure in Indian Naval Academy. So for entering into the Indian Armed Forces itself, it's such a tedious selection process. Why such a tedious selection process? Is जिस तरह का मैंने समझा, it's a very layman terms में कि ये है कि अगर घर के अंदर जो कोई भी लड़ाई होता है, okay, वो घर के अंदर रहना चाहिए, घर से बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए, है ना. घर के अंदर कुछ भी लड़ाई करो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट घर से बाहर you have a particular image to maintain. Likewise, Indian Armed Forces people are the people who take care of the borders. All right, when the borders are the borders security of the borders are jeopardized, so outside invasion अंदर आ जाता है. Inside में there are a lot of things which we can improve. When people from outside come inside and then start saying that this is what we are going to do, and they start invading us, that's something which we don't want it. So that's the reason why we have the most trusted people in the armed forces. All right, as such, if you notice, what is the population of India?
Right now, we have crossed like all the limits. दुनिया में से ज़्यादा population है. We are approx like 145 crores.
145 crores.
145 crores.
Okay, out of which, if you see right now, the officers in the Indian Navy are only 10,000.
Okay.
Where is 145 crore and where is 10,000? All right, and I think officers in the army would be around 12 lakhs, and officers in the air force is around 1 lakh. So you should see the ratio in which officers are scrutinized. Actually, there is a lot of vacancy, but the problem is we don't find the right person with the right quality. Now, what is that particular qualities which we look in the SSB, which basically the officers look in the SSB, is that there are something called as officer-like qualities. It is a set of 15 in number qualities. All right, I've written it down. So let's talk about each and every quality, shall we?
Yes.
let's
In a
just
brief, we
in a
can-
brief, very
Yep.
this thing. First quality is the effective intelligence, right? Effective intelligence इसलिए चाहिए कि अगर कुछ problem आता है, उस problem को how he handles the situation. What is this effective intelligence? What is this intelligence, first of all right? Intelligence is a process where you have a particular set of data, and how effectively you take a solution for that particular data is what is called as effective intelligence. Intelligence is that way where you find the effective way to do a particular work. All right, so this thing is looked into when you are being selected. Then there is a reasoning ability. Okay, now you have taken a decision for based on your intelligence. Are you able to make a reason why you have taken that particular decision? Is that reason valid to you? Is it making a good appreciation for yourself? हाँ, मैं इसी की वजह से मैंने ये reasoning लिया. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने ले लिया, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. इसके वजह से मैंने लिया. There's a reasoning ability for that. Then the third thing is organizing ability. All right, though you have the reasoning ability, how do you organize yourself in your brain ki this is the procedure why I am supposed to do this particular thing. All right, it is not just that particular organizing ability for that particular problem. It is organizing ability can be put up in various sections. Okay, how do you organize a particular if you have a particular operation do you want to do? Okay, what all things are required for that particular operation? What all logistics are required? What all what do you call, how do you go ahead to do the particular execute that particular thing? That all requires organizing abilities. Okay, so your mind should be so much well equipped to handle that much amount of pressure while you're organizing all these things. All right, next to the fourth one is the power of expression. ये सारे आपके अंदर है. Okay, but you're not working alone. No, you're working in a team. So you need to have that power of expression to the right word is to make people appreciate what you're trying to do. They should also be satisfied कि हाँ मैं इसकी वजह से मैं कर रहा हूँ, and this thing is the right thing to do, and you should be able to. And as you say, when you're going as an officer, minimum 50 people will be there for minimum. I'm saying minimum. Maximum is at least 200. Sometimes it even goes to 1,000. Minimum 50 people will be there under you, to whom you command, and when you are trying to say something, they are supposed to listen. Okay, and that doesn't happen just like that. It happens, respect is something which you gain. Okay, it's something which you earn. It doesn't happen just because you wear a stripes, you wear a star, doesn't mean that you become that person. That is why in armed forces there's a very highly selection criteria कि ये बंदा जाके उधर perform करेगा. All right, and apart from that, the next fifth one is the social adaptability. All right, how good is he able to adapt to the society around him? As I told, it's always groupism. So people from various walks of life come over there. There'll be a Sikh, there'll be a person from South India who doesn't know Hindi, there'll be a person from Bihar who'll be always highly pumped, there'll be a person from Gujarat, rarely, but yes, there'll be a person from Gujarat who will be ready to always wanted to eat. There'll be a person from Rajasthan ready to do things, Haryana people ready to do things. The different people from different walks of life come over there. How do you manage all of them in one particular pond and then make them work against a particular goal? All right,
Correct.
These things are looked into. Cooperation, again, cooperation is also a group activity. Cooperation by itself. Then a sense of responsibility. When a particular work is given to you, how deeply you take it into yourself. हाँ, ये मेरा responsibility है, मैं खुद खत्म करूँगा. It's not like someone has given this particular work, मैं सिर्फ ये देखूँगा. It's like उसके अलावा भी अगर कुछ देख सकते हैं which is under your purview, you can actually look into it. So sense of responsibility is looked in SSBs. Then there is this initiativeness. All right, the point number 8 is
Which you
initiativeness.
had from the very beginning.
Very beginning. It was always there. So initiativeness is a process where if you find some problem somewhere, either you can just be blindfolded कि हाँ मैं नहीं देखूंगा तो कोई और आके देखेगा, or you just take the initiative, हाँ let me see what I can do for this. There are always a lot of problems around us. Okay, how good we find the solution is where where you lie, right? So initiativeness is something where you go ahead, you call up people together, and you find a solution for any problem which is there around you. All right, then there is self-confidence. All right, so it is not just initiation. You should be having that self-confidence. हाँ मैं कर सकता हूँ. Only when the thing that you have the self-confidence कि मैं कर सकता हूँ. These things are not something which you can prepare for SSB and you can go. It is there something which is inbuilt there inside you, and that is why it is very difficult to find officers for the armed forces. Still there is a lot of vacancies, but we are not able to find those people with that particular qualities.
Qualities,
All right, we are just in half of the qualities. We are in serial number 9, that is self-confidence. 10 is speed of decision. All right, in armed forces, it's always life or death. And when a pilot is flying, okay, he has to take decision in split seconds. What makes that person takes decision in split seconds? Okay, his ability to, in which his mind works. He is supposed to be speed wired, so that अगर ये करूँगा तो ये हो सकता है, अगर ये करूँगा तो ये हो सकता है, ठीक है, हाँ, अगर ये करूँगा इसमें minimum damage हो सकता है, तो I'll do this, or if I do this there will be no damage at all, I have to do this. So those kind of minimum speed of decisions makes people's here in armed forces, the life of a person counts. It's not material, it's about the life of people. There are people under you whom you command. All right, your decisions make everything. All right, and then ability to influence a group. Again, as I told you, there are people are not here to just respect you just because you have a rank. You have to have the ability to make people understand that it is there inside you. आपके अंदर है कि हाँ मैं कर सकता हूँ. तब तक if you are not self motivated, how and self confident, how would you be able to influence others? All right, and then point number 11 is point number ability. Point number 11 is ability to influence others. All right, so as I said, if you don't have the self confidence, how will you be able to influence others?
Correct.
Right, whatever decision you're taking, you have to make people understand that this is the reason why I'm taking. Time and by, they will blindfoldedly say that sir ने बोला तो सही बोला. Right?
सोच के बोला होगा.
Yeah, सोच के बोला सही बोला होगा. That kind of thing should be there. Point number 12 is liveliness. All right. If I'm just giving a dull interview, would you be interested in what I'm doing? No, it's not like that. You should be lively. Should be able to people should be able to feel that. The right word which people use these days is vibe. People should be able to feel that vibe there. ये बंदा आया तो nuclear energy आ रहा है इसके साथ. That kind of liveliness should be there.
और लेकर के.
Yes. And 13th point which they see is determination. Okay, there will always be obstacles. Okay, in any part of life there will always be obstacles, and apart from the obstacles, how determined are you to complete your particular task which is given to you? All right, this matters a lot. So these are the traits which are looked into SSB. Last two traits, 14 is courage. All right, जब ऊपर जाके कूदते हैं नीचे आते हैं तो बंदा डर के कूद रहा है या तो बस कर रहा है. Is he like able to just do it? Yeah, these things are not something which you can train someone for. It is there, which is there inside someone. Long time, no? 15. The last one is stamina. सब कुछ है, इंटेलिजेंस है, ये है वो है, बट वो बंदे के पास एनर्जी नहीं है करने के लिए, स्टैमिना नहीं है, then how would he be able to perform his task? In armed forces, everything is all about, most of the things about physical. It's everything, physical, mental. You should have the cusp of what the best of a human being should be there inside you in order to be in the armed forces, right? And that is why when we started the session we said that why armed forces, because once you are there in the armed forces, okay, and you come out of the armed forces and you want to work somewhere, you will be the best.
Then after the complete selection procedure in the Naval Academy, what is there? Like they train you, how's the training? Good.
So this is the most interesting part. This Naval Academy is the place where where boys turn into men and girls turn into women. All right. This is the place where you are literally taken and crushed into your most vulnerable form. And when you come out of the academy, you come out like you can do anything. क्यों ऐसा क्यों होता है? I'll tell you only my experience in the academy. So once you enter inside the academy, day one, okay, the first thing what they do is they'll call you in line and they will shave your head off. Right? Pura shave करते हैं, because everybody is equal over there. Nobody is supposed to have a different hairstyle. Right? So now once your heads are shaved, they are basically cadets in the academy. Everyone is equal.
And with the females?
They don't get shaved. They just have a bun type of structure. But I think in few academies, like officer training academy, मेरे हिसाब से I think they do shave. Or probably they have a short hair. I'm not sure. In our academy, they just don't do it. Naval Academy. And after that, there are a set of houses, which is called a squadron. This is school mein blue house, yellow house, and
Yes.
these kind of houses are there. We have around 7 types of houses. Okay. When I was there were 5 houses. Okay. We called as the Achiever, the Braveheart, the Cheetah, the Daredevils, and the Eagle. All right. So you are selected in a particular house, randomly selected in a particular house, and you put in a particular house. I was in the Eagle squadron. All right. The basic thing which is taught in the Indian Naval Academy, or as a matter of fact, any academy, it's very, very simple and basic thing is that one for all for one. अगर एक बंदे ने गलती कर दिया, सारे के सारे 300 लोग का पनिशमेंट मिलेगा. As simple as that. This is the basic code, because armed forces का बहुत simple concept है कि if you are going somewhere, you're going as a group. If one person is dying, you either go die and come along with him, or you bring that guy back safe. All right. So the basic thing which is inculcated in the academy is one for all for one. All right. So that starts. For example, day one. Okay, I have never shaved in my life. I've never shaved in my life till I entered inside academy. Academy was the first time I'm actually trying to shave. So I am not good at shaving. All right, back then. तो उस टाइम में शेव किया था, थोड़ा सा इधर थोड़ा सा बच गया था. All right. So what he said, then the senior called all of us. Okay, everybody line up. Can you see him? इसका थोड़ा सा बच गया. So everybody start taking 100 push-ups. Right. Literally all 100.
Like all the people
all
who
of
were there in your group only, or
the whole academy. होल अकेडमी जो हमारा बैच होता है उनको बुलाया, इसका प्रॉब्लम है तो सब टेक 100 पुशअप्स. All right. And there is one thing, interesting thing, there is something called rolling. Okay, we just go down and you roll. Okay, so we roll from one corner, जिधर तक दिखता है उधर तक रोल करते हैं, उधर तक आते हैं. So and that is one small example. And if you're there in the as I'm trying to learn to shave. Okay, second day, third day again, I was not able to shave, bro. थोड़ा सा दिख गया, तो he was like, okay, this time what we'll do individual process. It was rainy season, बाहर थोड़ा पानी था, उधर जो पानी दिख रहा है ना, उधर पानी में जाओ, पानी को ऐसा डिप करो और बगल में जो ब्रिक दिखता है ना, ब्रिक से उसको रगड़ के निकालो. तो literally I had to remove my skin over there where the hair was there. So after that I literally found my time to learn how to shave. And in Indian Naval Academy there was never a time I literally walked. We were always on jog. एक जगह से from point A to point B you have to go. From our squadron to drill shed you have to go, we run, jog. From our again squadron to swimming pool you have to go, we jog. To our classroom we jog. To our the shooting area we jog. There is no process of walking. So almost 6 months in my life I literally jogged. We were not allowed to walk. So what I'm giving you is just a very small this thing. Apart from that, there were amazing punishments were there. One small guy would do some small mistake, like for example, the shirt and the pant which you're wearing, the line is supposed to be in line with the what do you call
the belt where
belt.
you wear it.
Not just the belt. You see the zip lining which is there. It's supposed to be in line. If it is not in line, they'll again call everyone. All right. And what the another type of punishment is, a beautiful punishment, is that legs on top. Okay. They'll say everyone legs on top. Legs on top matlab your head will be there on the bottom. Your leg will be on top. Okay. Literally your head will be there at the bottom. Your leg will be on top and your hand will be tied behind. So basically you're standing on your head.
Till how long?
Depends. Half an hour, 1 hour. So it sounds inhuman, right? But we have done all that. It's a beautiful. At that point of time, it was all torturous. It was torturous. But then right now, why all those things? Why do we do all those things? While you come out, you just. That's why I told, when you come out like a man. You will be like, I can do anything, man. You just give it to me. I will just do it, right? I'll give you more interesting things. Okay.
See, it's what they are going through, these students who are in 11, 12. It's just nothing. They are considering it like everything is depending on this only.
No.
But the life is waiting for them outside.
It is a beautiful life which is waiting outside. It's very beautiful. It was in my swimming class. Okay, there where we have to there's 100-meter swimming. Okay, so we have to go this side, come this side. So we have to go on, keep on coming. We are not supposed to rest. 1 hour we have to swim continuously. If you're resting, coming and putting your hand on the side, then there is an instructor. He just puts a latti on top of the finger and it beats our hand. It's not supposed to rest, and it is inhumanly impossible to do that. But I think I got a little. I was not feeling well that day and I tried to put, and he jumped inside the water. He took me under the water and he grabbed me under the water. And I'm only trying to find my way out of the water. Then I came out of it. And so these are small things, makes us realize that, you can do anything in life. once you do that, you do these things, you can do anything in life. We ran like, every day, minimum 25 kilometers we run, right? A day starts with PT. Okay, we ran 5 kilometers over there, and then again after finishing we come back jogging, and then after that we do some classroom exercises. Then in the parade ground, we actually, parade ground by itself is treacherous, okay, but it's beautiful. And after that, then the shooting. Okay, we go for shooting. What do you call this? Training and all that. So everywhere wherever we go, we are always running. All right. So by time you have so much of stamina inside you, so much of guts inside you, so much of feeling of pride inside you that तू मेरे को कुछ भी दे दे, तू मेरे को लोहा दे के मैं खा के मैं तेरे को उसको निकाल दूंगा. You give me glass, I will eat it. That was the kind of motivation we had at that point of time. It's beautiful. There are a lot of videos about Indian Naval Academy, Military Academy in the YouTube. You can go and check it. देखते ही ना अंदर से goosebumps आता है. And I'm so proud that I was a part of it. Very proud I'm a part of it. All right. And कभी-कभी our seniors, what they used to say, if you want to escape from punishment, you got to do something incredible. Okay. Then he gives us a task. Okay. I will give you a task. You see that ocean over there. So most of the time, academy is near a ocean. All right. So we are standing near a ocean. So the ocean over there. Whosoever goes 100 meters inside the ocean and comes back, okay, you don't have to do a punishment for next 1 week. मैंने जैसे ही सुना, भागते भागते मैंने शर्ट खोला है ना, and I just jumped into the ocean. And yeah, I am from a coastal area. Ocean is something which is very normal for me. From my 6th standard, I've been swimming in the ocean. मैंने कूदा, 3-4 लोग कूदे थे, alright, and we started having a race inside the ocean. We started going inside the ocean so deep inside the ocean that almost I reached somewhere near the horizon. Okay, उधर से दिखेगा तो बहुत दूर दिख रहा है. And I think probably people were trying to call us back and then call me back, I guess. And me and another friend of mine, we are so engrossed in going, who's going to come back, who's going to go farthest, that we were not able to hear where people are calling. After that, they had to send a ski jet, they call it, ski jet, to bring us back again. And of course, as the promise was delivered, we were not given punishments for 1 week. Punishment तो ऐसे मिल जाता है हमको. You just even if you open your mouth, you are having a punishment. Why you're going that much? उधर जाके तो आपने हंसा, you're having a punishment. Even this happens, you are just literally going to have a punishment. They just wanted to be you trim and ship and shape over there.
Like they want you to have control over yourself completely.
Completely, everything. They just wanted you to be at the best. You should be like a demo. The right word is demo. Demo means demo. And there's something called as cabin cupboard. All right. उसमें क्या होता है? Every day in the evening, one officer comes to come and check whether our place is kept clean or not. All right. तो उसमें क्या करता है? They, of course, in the front you will keep everything in a perfect place. They go and touch some corner and they take a dust from there. Dust दिखाते हैं. Once the dust is there, that whole night you just have to clean the whole room. You have no option for it. All right. जब तक again in the night he will come somewhere late in the night at 1 o'clock in the round, and then he'll again find some other dust, some other place, and then you start cleaning that place. You cannot take dust out, but then that is the thing. We know it was torture at that point of time, but then when you look back at it, it's like, I can do anything, man. Give it to me, I'll just do it. For people in the armed forces, especially in the Navy, when you work in the ship, there's a lot of roll and pitch, all right, because of which people tend to vomit. Yep. Okay, so there is no option for some people, they just have to vomit. So in order to get used to for vomiting, after doing the whole exercise in the night, in the whole morning session and in the evening session, we don't have any time. We're just running left, right and center, helter skelter we are running. जब हमको time मिलता है सोने के लिए around 10 o'clock, we are just like dead people. We're like dead, like a dead log. We're lying there. Okay, again we have to wake up in the morning at 4 and start our PT. Sometimes we sleep at 2 o'clock in the night, sometimes we sleep at 10 o'clock in the night, it depends. Okay, and there are some seniors who come and knock the door in the middle of the night, and then they say that come out, everyone, all of us. Then we all come out. Okay, and then they ask us to fill buckets of water. Right, we fill buckets of water. Why do you take a guess? Why do you fill buckets of water?
I still don't get it.
You didn't get it?
To clean some person or something.
We take buckets of water. They ask us to drink buckets of water. Literally, we have to drink bucket of water and vomit it out. Bucket of water, vomit it out. Bucket of water, vomit it out. Minimum 5 bucket पीते थे within like a period of 1.5 hours, and then we have to vomit it. Okay, this is just a training for you, so that once you're going in the ship and then there's a roll and pitch, you don't wean about it कि हाँ ये ऐसे कैसे हो गया, मैं वॉमिट कर रहा हूँ, ये मेरे को पहले हुआ नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. वॉमिट तो ऐसा हम ऐसे करते थे. It's like you just have to put inside and take it out. So it is, the academy is the place where, you know, people really have to be. One more interesting fact, when I think it was the month of August, where NIT Jaipur had was conducting the convocation for my particular batch in the college. At that point of time, I was having taking punishments in my academy. Okay. At the time, I didn't realize what I was going to get. Okay, but after finishing the academy, okay, there is something called as passing out parade. Okay, passing out parade is where the whole batch comes and they march together, and then they pass out through a particular what you call stage, right, in front of a very big officer. That is something which no one will get. That is something, as I told you, out of those 145 crore number of people, only 10,000 officers are there right now in the armed forces, and every year alone only like around 200 officers are being passing out, all right, from the academies. Imagine the amount of ratio. And I thought about it. Everyone convocates, and I have gone through this passing out parade, which is something which I could, only it is people's dream, and I'm living someone's dream. So I respect this job, what I'm having right now. I can keep going, but then one more interesting thing is that we have a lot of competitions inside, in between the houses.
Okay.
All right. So one of the competitions which I got the chance to attend was a rowing competition. Rowing competition is the boat is called as a coxswain boat. Okay. If you watch the Social Network movie, usme, in Harvard School they row this kind of boat. Right. It's a very thin boat.
Yes.
Right, with oars on the side. So coxswain boat where 8 people is a crew, 7 people sit and they row, one person sits on the opposite and he directs that, you have to go this side, and he takes the direction of the boat. Right? When we are practicing for this competition, all right, when we are rowing, suddenly the practice happens in a backwater. It's a very big backwater which is there in the academy. So when we were practicing, suddenly what happened, एक बंदा जो मेरे आगे बैठा है, उसका रो में एक what do you call it? One snake got tied up in his rowing rowing stick. It's called as the oar, right? So we are trying to take that snake away. Okay, but point you have to understand is that water snakes are very poisonous.
Okay,
right?
yes.
So देखते पता चल गया. It was so big, man. It was so big. Okay, and देख के पता चल गया. So we were like trying to come in, like उसको ये करना, उसको पानी के अंदर डुबाना and all that, but it was not going. Time and by what happened, it started coming towards our boat. All right, and we all jumped back into the water. All right, so we were waiting for it to do. Once we jumped into the water, that bugger, that snake, it came in the water. Then again, one person, I got inside the boat, and then I started pulling people inside the boat. See, where that SSB training, actually is helping you out. This is not something where, people come and select you just like that. The reason why you select you is because life and death is there when you are in the armed forces, right? So this is one very, very, very small. जैसे हम खेलते while training ऐसा कुछ हो रहा था, and we were trying to help each other, and we are not going to leave anyone back. This is how the system works, and we came back and then the snake went away. All right, I can keep going when it comes to academy. There is nothing
like 6 months.
6 months of intense training. This is 6 months is for people who have graduated and they got inside the armed forces. If you're finished 12th, okay, there is another entry called the NDA entry. Okay,
Yes.
NDA entry. For NDA entry, they train for 4 years. All right. So imagine people are training for 4 years, because they train for 4 years and they get into a permanent commission. All right. I'm a short service commission officer. People who graduate and then graduate in the college, they can also get permanent commission. There are ways and methods, but I chose to be a short service commission officer. So I chose for serving for 10 years. All right. As I told you, the reason behind, I want to live different types of life. I thought armed forces is the right way to start. And trust me, somehow I took the right decision. Armed forces has taught me everything what I require in a life. Everything. Just about everything.
Okay. So now I'll ask a different question, though I don't want to, derail this conversation. It's very interesting, the naval part, academy part. Now, the question is कि you got through the training and now finally you are into the armed forces. तो ऐसा है कि यूनिफॉर्म इसलिए चाहिए थी कि वो लड़कियां मरती हैं यूनिफॉर्म वालों पे, ऐसा कुछ, सॉरी टू आस्क, लेकिन जस्ट इन माइंड की एक
No, even I've heard that phrase. Interestingly, I've heard that phrase only after entering inside the armed forces. Before that, I never heard of that phrase. But there is, I think, time and by, I actually gave a thought about it, and I think there is a reason why, probably ladies love people who are in uniform. And I don't think they love them because they are in uniform. It is because of the traits which a person in the armed forces have. Okay, for example, you ask an armed force officer to go and organize a party, he'll be there. He just knows exactly what to do. You go and ask him to read a book for a child, he just knows exactly what to tell to a child, talk to a child, how to interact with a child. You go and ask him to order from a French menu, he knows it, how to order from a French menu. He knows how to use the cutleries.
Yes.
He knows how to usher and VIP, like you have to come this way. He knows how to exactly talk to a lady, how respectfully to talk to a lady. He knows how to plant a tree. Okay, he knows how to do electrical jobs, IT jobs, because all these things have been inculcated in the armed forces. In armed forces, it doesn't mean that you are selected for a technical job, you'll do only a technical job. It's not like that. Your core job is technical. Apart from that, you are given secondary jobs. All right, you got to look into those jobs, and those jobs is the ones which actually make you a proper thing. It's not just this. I mean, apart from that, we also learn how to write a letter. All right, because when you communicate from one unit to another unit, we write letters, so your vocabulary is up to your pitch. It's just very vociferous, and you say it, the person in the armed forces will just have it. All right, so it's not the uniform which makes it more interesting, it's about the traits of the armed force personnel which makes the person interesting. Above all, to sugarcoat it is the uniform.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what, and I think that's probably the reason why there is this phrase ki uniform wala pe, what is that?
लड़कियां मरती हैं.
Yeah.
So one question from this only: is there a language barrier in the academy? Like people from throughout the country come there. People who don't speak, like usually there are some people who don't speak English, who don't speak Hindi, who don't speak different. So is there a barrier for them? They have to learn a specific language like English?
See, English, though is a foreign language, it's kind of has become the most dominant language in the world.
Yeah.
And me being a South Indian, I'm not great in Hindi. All right, and a person who comes from North India, he may not be great in English, but you just have to be able to communicate your idea to the other person. That is the most important thing in the armed forces.
Okay.
All right, it is not necessary that you have to be absolutely fluent in English or absolutely great in Hindi or nothing like that. We should know a little bit of everything. That's what an armed force officer is, a little bit of everything, right? So English has been the most basic language where most of them communicate in the armed forces, and as such, Hindi is definitely necessary when we talk to our men, who are under us. When we talk to them, and you try to communicate maximum in Hindi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So now can we go to that question? Like, what are the different ways to get into the armed forces in brief?
Okay. So there are different kinds of entry. The entries are based on which particular stage of life you are. For example, if you finished 12th, all right, then there is a particular entry for you. If you finish your graduation, there's a particular entry for you. If you finished your MTech, then there's a particular entry for you. Okay, and if you are an advocate, there's a particular entry for you. Medical, if you have finished your doctor degree, then there's a particular kind of entry for you. And if you have done BCom and all that, so accounts. Okay, there is a logistic entry for you. If you have done, there is an education entry, there's an IT entry. There are different types of entries. All right.
Definitely, there are teachers and there are all people from all
ways of life come down in the armed forces, and everybody is given this basic training. All right? It's not like just because he is a medical officer, he's not given that much amount of training. Everybody goes through the same kind of training. But to answer your question, all right, so if you're completing 12th, okay, then there is this NDA exam. All right, it happens twice in a year, and there are a lot of things which is written on the internet how to get inside. Okay, NDA exam. Then there is this CDS exam. Okay, which is after graduation. All right, and there is SSC Tech entry. Okay, Short Service Commissioned Officer Technical entry. There is a Judge Advocate entry, if I'm not wrong. JAG they call it, Judge Advocate General entry. There is a University entry scheme. All right, there's a direct entry, Okay, so there are numerous ways. Okay, there's a broad spectrum in which you can enter inside the armed forces. The idea is, for all these entries, the main basic thing is the SSB. All right, whether you're able to qualify the SSB is not is the most important thing. Once you, for example, okay, I did my BTech from metallurgical and materials engineering. All right, but I have been trained by the Navy, and I've been given a degree in MTech aeronautics. Okay.
Okay.
For the armed forces, it doesn't matter which walk of life you're from. If you're getting selected, it means that you're ready to do anything. All right, so they have trained me inside in the aeronautical part, and I'm taking care of the flights, the aircrafts in the Indian Navy.
Okay.
All right, so the entries are already there. The vast number of informations are there in the internet. You can just have a look.
तो बस मेरे को इनको यही कहना था कि केवल IIT या केवल एक डॉक्टर बनने का ऑप्शन नहीं है भाई, बहुत कुछ है ना. You can listen from Avinash sir.
It is, if you really want to live a life, just try the armed forces. There are many people who attend the SSB. Why do you go many people? APJ Abdul Kalam has appeared for more than 6 to 7 times in the SSB. He didn't get selected. All right.
ये मुझे नहीं पता था.
You didn't know this?
No.
Many people who have tried the level best to get inside the armed forces to give SSBs. They have given attempts around. I think I have people who have given 14 attempts also. Okay, if people can give 14 attempts, why can't you just give only one attempt? Give a try. I think someone does a famous quote saying that the biggest risk in life is not taking the risk.
Yes.
Right. I think if you're born, you should give a try to do everything, a little bit of everything in life, right?
Okay.
And I personally feel armed forces is the place to start your life. All right. As I said in the beginning, there are some countries which gives you basic armed force training. All right. Just like that, I decided to give my first 10 years of my life, to the armed forces. All right. And trust me, that's the best thing which I have done in my life, because now when I have worked in the armed forces, I have interacted with numerous number of people, IAS officers. I have interacted with politicians. I have interacted with people from this artistic people.
Yep.
All right, enlightened people. I have interacted with various types of people, so I have a very broad spectrum, right? And it's not like I didn't go and interact. I have to interact in the armed forces. It's not like you have an option. Understand that if once you get inside the armed forces, you're just in a projectile motion to be in the best place in the whole of the Homo sapiens, I would say, in the category. You're the best.
So my question is, will you please share? In last meeting you told me about your adventurous life, your adventures.
Mm-hmm.
So can you share a bit of your adventures, like one or two, most memorable?
मेरा Instagram profile check करिए.
So that I'll definitely take some pictures and show it to them.
Of course.
Definitely.
See, I am a very curious person. All right. When I go and stand near a waterfall, I'd like to stand at the tallest place. All right. It's not just that. I just love to jump inside the water. Wherever there is a water body, I'll just go and jump inside. I'll not see कि हाँ क्या कुछ मुझे काटेगा, क्या करेगा and all that. Because the basic thing about adventure is that why people do adventure is that they wanted to get some fear, out of their body. The most basic obstacle in life is fear to do anything, right? I understand that you're coaching kids, right? Kids का बहुत most basic problem होता है कि अगर मुझे वो reject कर देगा तो क्या होगा, मेरे को अगर मैं एग्जाम में ढंग से किया ना तो मेरे को क्या होगा. What are all these things? They're all fears, right? So if you want to do something worthwhile in life, if you want to start up your life, from any point wherever you are, you have to just concentrate on knowing what your fears are. Right? Once you know what your fears are, you write it down and then start facing the fears. This is the best part of the fear. Fear looks very gigantic from far away, but once you go near, fear will be like so tiny, minuscule. It will be the size of an atom. It will be like, why was I even fearful of this? That kind of situation will be the situation. So, as a matter of fact, in our Hindu mythology, that is why there is a reason why our Ganpati is the first god which is being prayed. The reason the reason is because he's also called as the remover of obstacles.
Yes.
Right? It's basically a portrayal of a particular concept. In the jungle, elephant is the most biggest animal. All right.
Okay.
It is since by virtue of it being big, okay, it doesn't have much of a fear, of other animals from other animals. All
Yes.
right. And apart from that, whatever comes on its way, it just removes it because it has that particular amount of energy. So it is called as the remover of obstacles.
Vignaharta.
If you want to really go ahead in life, first of all, get out of the fear. If you want to get out of, first you get the fear out, then you become an adventurous person. All right. When I can just take a kayak, I can just go anywhere inside the ocean. Talking about one more thing, me and my friend, we have an inflatable raft. We take that raft to the middle of the ocean, and we have a competition where we throw a heavy object, a stone or something inside the ocean, and then we wear our only the goggles, all right? And we don't have breathing apparatus and all that, and we go and try to take that object and come back again, right? We used to do that in beaches in the Arabian Sea mostly, right? So looking back right now, all these adventures have made me a very solid person. You give me something, I will just not be afraid of anything. Okay, what happens is that by virtue you lose your fear, you start gaining more patience. I'll give you one small example. When once I was just road tripping in the Himalayas, all right, there was a landslide which happened just in front of me, all right, and it was Uttarakhand, near this Chamoli district, right? Chamoli district is famous for its landslide. So as I was going, there was a landslide. Already landslide thoda hua tha, and then as I was driving through that landslide, it started sliding out, right? So towards the left, there is a 200 feet down, directly inside the Ganges, flowing in its full flow, and I am just there trying to figure out exactly what to do. Okay, so it was sliding. थोड़ा टाइम बाद रुक गया. Okay, then I understood I should not move at this point of time. And I was solo road tripping. All right, so I was in this particular motion. नीचे इस साइड था. I was in this slide. बाइक को पकड़ के रखा था, कहीं मूव नहीं करने का. जितना पेशेंटली उसको बिना मूव करके रखना है उतना पेशेंटली मैंने बैठा था. And then a group of people came in alto, all right, and all four of them got down and they slowly came and pulled me back. Once they pulled me back, then again, wherever I was, that particular part slided down inside the Ganges. So what saved my life at that point of time? Patience. All right. If you have fear, you will panic. If you have patience, you will just know exactly what to do at what point of time.
Beautiful.
This is just a small example. There are many examples in my life where patience have literally saved my life. Literally. Many things I cannot share. This is just a small example because everybody likes to do a road trip. Correct. Everybody likes to do adventure activities. Do adventure activities, take calculated risks, but take calculated risks. And, if you don't take calculated risks, you have not lived actually. You should take a risk. And I think by time, your luck will always be there.
Okay.
To help you out.
Yep. So, now I'd love to ask you, what would be the message from you for the viewers? Mostly the viewers are students.
Okay. I'll just say that the time you're born, there are two certainties in life. Okay, let's start like this. There are two certainties in life. One is the life, the other one is the death. These are two certain things which one has already happened, one is going to happen. So that being the case, what is there in between is that the time. You're going to race against the time. So how effectively you use the time is what that makes you an better person, when compared to others. I know comparison is not good. Otherwise, you can compare yourself, how I was yesterday and how I am today. You just have to try to be better version of yourself. The more you try to be the better version of yourself, you're gonna be, one day you're just gonna be there. And apart from that, doing the right thing at the right time is kind of the biggest gift you can ever give to yourself. Because just like, I think there was a discussion ki, I am getting attracted to some lady, and the lady saying that I'm getting attracted to some kid. Yes, it will obviously is bound to happen. You have a body which has hormones, which has chemicals, that is supposed to happen. But at this point of time, what is important to you? Right? Yeah, studies is important for me. Okay, I have to study. I have to find a way to improve myself. I have to find in whichever ways I can, make self-improve myself. I understand that the partner whom you get somewhere in your very young age, in your teens, is not someone who's going to be there till the end of your life. All right. Once you get somewhere at the age of 23 to 27, I understand most of the time I'm seeing is the ones who are always there with you. They'll be the ones because they know exactly where you stand. And that is why they'll be there till the end of your life if you're doing really good. All right. So you're already racing against your time. So try to make the best use of it and try to be as efficient as possible. Try to take calculated risks. All right. And just try to be a better version of yourself.
Last question,
Yeah.
which is in my mind.
Okay.
If you have superpowers to change the world,
Mhm.
then what would you change first?
I really don't have to change the world because I am the part of the world. All right. So what we call as the world is that, you know, a lot of things around, and I am a part of it. If I have to change the world, first I'll change myself. When I change myself, I'm pretty sure that someone would see, you know, my journey of me changing myself. When someone sees my journey of seeing my changing myself, I'm gonna inspire around 10 people. All right. When I inspire 10 people, that 10 people will become, each and every person will become a part of me. All right. A part of me will be there inside them. That 10% again will chain react into 100%. That 100 will become 1,000. That 1,000 will become, you know, 10,000. Eventually, the whole human civilization, I guess. So, if you want to change something in the world, I think the best thing to change is yourself.
Exactly.
Be the best you.
So we can, conclude this on the quote given by Mahatma Gandhi, which says, "Be the change that you want in the society."
Yes. Yes.
So
It all
I-
starts with us.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I just loved the conversation. Over the years, I'm gonna tell students and go and watch this video. Like, this is what you need right now, like in 11th standard or 12th standard. This will definitely help you.
Of course.
So, Avinash, sir, thank you so much. And like, it is being pleasure
It is a pleasure to me too. Yeah.
to be with you.
True.